Thanks for joining us here on Beyond the Mic Sports, where we go beyond the surface and give you takes you won't see coming. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and stay in tune for the vibes. Yeah. Down or left to right? I'm interested to see what you guys feel and how you guys feel about how the Eagles handle their business.
Well, I mean, the Eagles handle business like usual. You know, Jalen Hurts doesn't have to perform well. He could throw under 100 yards and they still win. 4-0 now, so you all credit to Sirianni and what he's doing, running a tight ship. They just figure out how to win games no matter what happens. Special teams, huge shout out to special teams because they always do it. Second week in a row with the special teams touchdown, you don't get that often. So if you want to keep banking on that, Eagles fans, be my guest.
I don't know about having to bank on anything. They've won 18 straight games. I mean, like, I just, it's about winning. Sports has a short menu, wins and losses. You guys can sit around and talk about how it looks and all this other stuff and whatnot. None of that really matters. It's about winning games. That's why all the talk with A.J. Brown complaining about how many balls he's getting in targets and yards. I mean, if I'm the Eagles, I would look to move him if the guy's going to be really belly aching. You've won a Super Bowl, yes. I would move on. I would find somebody who wants to win and not complaining, not putting out cryptic messages on social media. Be a man. Talk to the coach. Talk to and find out what's happening. He had over 100 yards the week before, and now he's belly aching because he only had 7 yards or whatever. That's all I'm saying. It should be about winning. It's hard to repeat. Eagles are trying to do something special. Win and move on to the next game. That's how I look at football.
I don't know about trading A.J. Brown. I'll be the first one to say it. That would put us, first of all, we'd be in cap hell. That would start a whole abundance of issues. And I don't like trading A.J. Brown. I'll leave it at that. But I think the Eagles are definitely showing flashes, key point flashes of how dominant they can be. But they're also showing on any given half how bad they can be. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm a big Jalen Hurts guy. You all know this. But 0 completions in a half is insane. Like, that's something I never thought I would live through. And it's not even his fault some of the times. It's really not. But it's just like, you can't go through
the Jalen Hurts argument or conversation last year, everybody, if you watched any of the pre-Super Bowl pre-games, all you got to do is stop Saquon and you'll beat the Eagles. Well, Saquon had like 40 yards and Jalen made all the throws and did everything you needed to do to win and was Super Bowl MVP. So I get it. You would like him to have more yards and completions and look like some of these other quarterbacks, but they're getting the job done. And it's not like he hasn't performed. In the Super Bowl, they lost to Kansas City. He actually played great, except for that one fumble. Outplayed Mahomes. Agreed. So we know that he can play and can do stuff when you need him to do it in those circumstances. Jalen Hurts is not an issue for me. I don't care what he looks like. I don't care what his numbers are. He's won 18 straight games. I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it real.
You're my guy.
The Eagles have won 18 straight.
See,
the
you see how they start?
Have won 18 straight.
Listen, man, the Eagles won 18 straight, not Jalen Hurts. Trading AJ
on the team.
Trading AJ Brown is crazy.
I'm just saying, if he's going to bellyache about his numbers, I don't want anybody like that. If that's the issue, is all I'm saying. If he's going to, like, if you got an issue, keep it in-house. The only time I want to hear a receiver complaining is if he's not getting the ball and you're losing. Okay, then you could say the offense isn't working. It doesn't make sense. You can't win 18 games in a row, and every time you have an off week, it's the end of the world. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about if the guy can just understand it's a team situation. Everybody wants numbers. I get it. Look at Saquon. Is he rushing for the same yards he did last year? No.
It's been terrible. It's been terrible.
Well, because they putting extra guys in the box. They're not. They saw that show last year. That's not going to be the show that you're going to see this year, and they're still winning.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but when when it's contract time and it's time for him to get paid and feed his family,
He
And
won't
you
get
look at
paid.
the numbers aren't going to match up because Jalen Hurts doesn't want to push that ball downfield to him. So when it's time for him to get paid and feed his family, they're going to say, "Hey, you aren't producing,"
He's
and
already been
they're
paid. Everybody knows what kind of receiver he is, and people
Thank
will look
you.
at it. Come on, do not stop with the idea that
Thank
people
you.
don't know. He's been paid. They paid him. That's why they're in
Twice.
cap hell. Yes. So you're acting
Twice.
like
Paid him
when it's time
twice.
to get paid.
Okay, but wait, you brought up a really good point when you mentioned how even Saquon isn't complaining, and that pushes me to a bigger issue that I think is going on with the overall offense. The run game and Saquon Barkley, they just haven't been there outside of Jalen Hurts and his rushing and his scrambles. So I feel like that's going to be a problem for the Eagles that they have to solve. So y'all think they're going to solve that soon enough?
I
They're
don't know.
not
I
going.
don't know.
They're not going to win every game.
Mhm.
They're going to get beat, and everything's not going to go their way. Of course, you wish you were running the ball more. Of course, you wish the offense was throwing the ball downfield. But it is about winning. That's all I'm saying. Until you start losing, and you can look at some of these things, then I would buy into it. You go to Tampa Bay and beat a good Bucks team. I'd take that any day, any day.
With a top five
But
defense. With a top five defense.
So, the Eagles remind me of a team last year, right? The wins aren't pretty at all, right? But nobody cares. Everybody want to talk about AJ Brown because they winning. Last year, when the Kansas City Chiefs was winning last year, and the wins was very ugly, and the offense had a problem, wasn't y'all attacking the Kansas City Chiefs and saying that they wasn't a good team? How come the Eagles aren't getting the same treatment?
Well, I
When
don't
the
agree.
run, when hold on, when the run game don't look good, when the receivers are combining from 4 receptions and 30 yards,
Well,
let's really
because
talk.
no, in the Chiefs situation, it has been a deterioration over the last couple of years, and they've been lucky more than they've been good, and that's what people are watching. Last year, the perfect example is that Patrick Mahomes, right, despite going 15-1 in his starts, got
Right.
zero first place votes for MVP on a team that was 15-1. Why? Because his numbers weren't good. So people looked at Patrick Mahomes, how he started in the league, how he used to throw the ball downfield. He's got interceptions. He's just not the same player that we've seen over time. And even this last game, I'm not convinced that the Chiefs are back. Baltimore is a terrible defense, and they've been giving it up to everybody. Chiefs ain't
We got to
back.
get to that.
Back from what? They've been giving up 40 points a game, the Ravens. I'm not buying that.
So quickly though, what about the Bucks? We talked about the Eagles a lot. The Bucks continuously have terrible starts to their games. Terrible starts. They had 6 points in the first half. You're not going to beat elite teams like that.
No, at some point you can't rely on coming back. Every game's not going to be a comeback victory. Baker Mayfield's done an unbelievable job, has pulled out games. You like to see that, but that's not the way you want to live on the edge. That's not going to be able. A steady diet of that is going to cost you. So they know that. But the Bucks are in a good spot, and Baker Mayfield has done a great job for them.
I like that. I think Baker's been really good. The only thing I'm worried about with them is the slow starts, and I don't know. Is Baker going to turn back into Baker?
No, that's not going to happen. Baker's
He
not
did
going
it
to do
last
that.
week. He
Baker
did
is
it last week. He
Baker's
did
been
it last week.
consistently performing over the past 2 seasons. He's doing that week after week, using his legs, extending plays, just creating magic on the field. He's gonna get Mike Evans back. He's gonna get his right tackle back. The Bucks are going to be situated. If you're the Eagles, I think you need to fear this team in the playoffs.
Oh, I
Not,
agree. I agree.
not only Mike Evans, Chris Godwin,
He's back. He's back.
Bucky Irvin,
Mm-hmm.
good offensive line, defense is good. This team is very, very scary. Very, very scary. This
No,
one
they're
game
good.
don't symbolize who they are. This team is very scary
The one thing I
Emeka looks like offensive rookie of the year for me
right
right
now.
now.
Yeah. T
mm,
Mac.
Maybe I'm forgetting. Not McMillan. Tedero is not better than him right now.
I get it though. He's shown a lot of flashes, but his game is so interesting because I think he's a zone beater. I don't think he's a man. I don't think he's that much of a man beater at this point in his career. Quinyon Mitchell had him in max. He had him in a 2x2. He couldn't get open for the life. Had him in a 2x2.
We are talking about Quinyon Mitchell though.
His
I know.
Holden. Nah, he's a
We are
shutdown.
talking about Quinyon Mitchell. He is locked down defender. I lost all respect to the Packers.
Why?
I lost all respect to the Packers after
They just
watching
had
that
40.
whole. Yeah, they just dropped 40 and they just gave up 40 to the Cowboys.
They're the number one offense, though. Dallas is the number one offense right now.
Didn't we say that?
That's a big L. You can't. I'm sorry. If you're Green Bay, you got to be able to win that game, and that just
40,
shows
40.
you.